These are the things we need to be paying attention to right now on this Bitcoin chart to avoid getting wrecked and to stay one step ahead of these markets. I'm going to be digging into these charts, telling you exactly how I'm approaching this price action. So make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the bell for notifications. Now, guys, today Bitcoin has not done very much. We've pretty much had a slight move down, nothing too significant after putting in the higher high yesterday, after the FOMC news announcement that the Fed is raising rates by 25 basis points. However, as you can see, we're coming up to key resistance. This is key resistance. And when we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, a lot of people are noticing that we are forming some very bearish divergences. In fact, we are forming the dreaded upside down Sam Bankman-Fried market cipher B bearish pattern. As we can see right here from Sam Bankman's crooked mammogram size, when the price is getting higher into key zone of resistance and the market cipher B is actually getting lower with momentum and money flow, as can be seen right here, market cipher B, money flow coming down, momentum coming down, that is actually very, very bearish. And we can see right now the momentum and the money flow is coming down. And as the Bitcoin price has put this higher high into that key level of resistance, we are seeing continued bearish divergence. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, it means this definitely is an area we should be looking for short trades, right? This is why, in fact, we did give the short trade over in the Casper Crew VIP Discord to take a short from that exact level if we got certain confirmations. We absolutely did get the confirmations, and that has allowed us to enter into now short trades. So I'm currently in a few different short positions on Bitcoin right now from the very top because we were prepared for that level. But does that mean we are going to be getting a move to the downside? We're going to be talking about that. These are the things that you need to be paying attention to right now. First of all, the dollar. We need to be paying attention to the dollar. This is the DXY, the dollar index, and this is inversely correlated to Bitcoin. What that means is if the dollar is getting a move to the upside, then the Bitcoin and other risk assets will be getting a move to the downside, and vice versa. If we see the dollar getting a move to the downside, we can expect Bitcoin to pump. Now, when the bullish news came out yesterday, what happened to the dollar? It got a very, very sharp move to the downside, which gave Bitcoin its move to the upside. In fact, we can see right here that this was when the news actually came out. We get these big candles to the downside. Now, a word of caution right now. As we mentioned before, Bitcoin is forming some pretty bearish divergences on some significant timeframes, and the dollar is taking out this previous low from this wick that we put in back in May 2022. Why is this so important? Well, oftentimes when the dollar or any asset is going to take out a low, what this does is a lot of traders now are stopped out of their position, right? Because people would be in a position, let's say, and they have their stop losses here, or they say, if price comes down below this level, I'm out of the market. What this does is it basically injects a little liquidity into the market. A lot of trades get stopped out, and the asset gets a move in the opposite direction. We can see that happening when we took out this low from July. The market basically got a 2% move to the upside after taking out that low. And if the dollar is going to get a move to the upside at this key support, we do need to be aware that Bitcoin could also be getting a pullback at that area of support. The second thing we need to be aware of is the S&P 500. This is the S&P 500 right now on the daily time frame. I'm going to go to the 3-day time frame just so that we can get a little bit more clarity here. Okay, there's a few things that we really need to be aware of. Number one, the S&P 500 is coming up right now to a local zone of resistance. Now, we know that the S&P 500, this is actually the ES Mini Futures chart, can actually act as a leading indicator for Bitcoin. Oftentimes, what the S&P 500 does, Bitcoin will do right after. So when the dollar is coming down to support, and we know the dollar is inversely correlated to Bitcoin, and assets like the S&P 500 are coming up to resistance, and we know that this is kind of like a leading indicator for Bitcoin, we do have to be aware that if this S&P 500 is going to get more of a pullback from this key area of resistance and the dollar is going to get more of a bounce, potentially Bitcoin could get more of a pullback, and we do need to be paying attention to where we could be getting a pullback. Now, the dollar is getting a bounce, and if we do take a look at some of these lower time frames, like the 6-hour time frame, what do we see down here on market cipher B? We see the bullish divergences, right? A very deep momentum wave, and then a more shallow momentum wave right here as the price is getting lower. The money flow is also getting higher, giving us that uneven butt cheek pattern, guys, where we have that very juicy left butt cheek and that very skinny right butt cheek. This is a very bullish pattern. You're out at the club late at night doing your thing, girl. You got your drink in your hand. You know what I'm saying? When the lights are out, everyone's clubbing, right? No big deal. Lights come on at 2 a.m. Everyone can see what you got in that trunk, girl. And if you're ever out in the club at 2 a.m. and you see this, know that things are getting very, very bullish. Okay, that's what's happening to the dollar. S&P 500 at resistance. So, what is my plan right now for Bitcoin? Very, very important. Well, first of all, it is very important just to mention the fact that Bitcoin is right now trading in a sideways range. In fact, even throughout all this time, for the past 2 weeks, even though we've gotten moves to the upside and moves to the downside, we can say that we're actually simply just trading sideways in between a pretty clearly defined low at around 22.3K and a pretty clearly defined high around 23.924K. Something else that's very interesting about this is we're consecutively making higher lows. Every time we come down here, we are making higher lows. And in addition to that, every time we come up to the top, we are making higher highs. So we're basically kind of trading in this ascending channel right here. Now, as long as we don't lose this range here, I will actually maintain a little bullish, because unless we're losing support, there's no real reason to get bearish, right? What do we want to do? We want to buy low and sell high. Most of the time, assets are simply ranging from lows to highs, and we can see this happening on multiple time frames. So we came to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high. Maybe we'll get a move back down to the low. Unless we start to lose this low, there's really no reason to get super bearish. And that's actually why, guys, the way we trade in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where we gave the long setup from the low of the range and the short setup from the high of the range, the way that I like to trade is I actually like to hold multiple positions at the same time. I like to hold short trades and I like to hold long trades. Short trades from the high of the range, long trades from the low of the range. And as you can see on both of these trades, I have shorted from the exact high, I have longed from the exact low, and I have taken profit on both of the trades, guaranteeing that both of them are winners. So no matter what happens, if we break up, if we break down, I am in a position to basically, if we break up from here, have a long from the bottom, or if we break down from here, have a short from the top. This is the way that I like to trade. This is the way I think is most beneficial for traders, identifying those ranges and then being able to hold positions from the high and the low of the range, and of course taking scalps in between. And by the way, if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. Also, if you want to learn how to trade this way, check out the course, jasoncaspertrading.com. We have a 20% discount in the description. Also, guys, if you do want to trade on ByBit and take advantage of the 0% limit fees that we currently have, if you use the Jason Casper affiliate link in the description, this is actually really great for traders that like to trade on lower term time frames. The $30,000 bonus reward is pretty bogus, actually, because you have to deposit some insane amount of money to get $30,000 in rewards. But the 0% limit fees, guys, actually a very, very good deal. So as I said, as long as we don't lose this level, I am still going to be maintaining my bullish sentiment here. If we are able to break above $25,000 without losing key support, I do believe we will see $30,000, and I do think that there is a really good chance that these bearish divergences simply just result in further consolidation until another breakout to the upside. That is one very possible scenario. That is the bullish scenario. The more bearish scenario, speaking of bearishness, Sam Bankman-Fried showing right here with his man boobies. Speaking of bearishness, these are some bearish levels that we really do need to be aware of, okay? First of all, it's very important that we understand the context of the chart. We're at the doorway to Pump City. If we come above 25K, smooth move up to 30K because, smooth move, right? Smooth move down, smooth move back up. If we start to retrace here, the next major zone of support where I think we can find a very, very nice bounce is going to be that 21.4-ish thousand level where we have the pre-FTX dump support resistance flip, a high volume node, and a golden pocket. This could be actually a very, very nice move. And this is actually my preferred scenario because of the fact that a healthy trend does have a retracement, right? And so I would be looking for something like this to happen. We have our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high, our higher low right into that golden pocket zone, and then our higher high hitting our $30,000 target. Now, another scenario, guys, is that we actually retrace a little bit deeper and we come back down to the very important support resistance flip of the $19,200 level, which we can see was very clearly our support back in July. It was very clearly our support all throughout September and October. It was flipped into resistance back in December. And so if we're going to break out of this very important support resistance flip, it would make sense that we come back down to retest the high volume node confluence with the golden pocket before also getting our move to the upside. Now, notice something here. I'm still maintaining my higher term time frame bullish bias because of the fact that we have switched market structure on the weekly time frame, having taken out the previous two weekly highs. For this reason, I am going to be looking for that higher low. I prefer that we get a pullback from here because I think it would be healthy for the trend. However, I am still honestly open to more upside without getting much of a pullback. And I think what happens this week and especially this weekend is really going to be key for next week. Keep your eyes on the dollar, keep your eyes on the S&P 500, and keep your eyes on these key levels for Bitcoin. That is it for today's video. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus the Messiah. I pray everybody is very, very blessed. Even if you are not religious, that is fine with me. I still pray that you are blessed in many, many ways. And with that being said, guys, that is it for today's video. And I never know how to end these dang videos, so peace. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Yep, all those things YouTubers are supposed to say.